Good afternoon. My name is Edward Montgomery. I'm the Dean of the newly launched McCourt School of Public Policy at Georgetown University. I wanted to talk to you today about the incredible opportunity that massive data presents for public policy. That was Georgetown Jack, and much like Jack, I'm an old dog who's attempting a new trick today with this style of presentation, so please bear with me and remember the old adage. But a bit about my background. I served in the Obama administration on the Auto Task Force and led the effort to revive auto communities impacted by this restructuring. I'm an economist by training and I held positions at the Federal Reserve and universities like Maryland and Carnegie Mellon. I was also the Deputy Secretary of the Labor Department during the Clinton administration. For decades, public policy researchers have sought to design and evaluate the overall effects of various government policies. We've been able to differentiate the impacts on men versus women, small and large communities, small and large businesses, rural areas. But data of innovation will create opportunities for policies specifically designed for even more refined groups. One size fits all will give way to personalized public policy. As we look ahead, we should not ignore how far we've come. Just 200 years ago, we were flying completely blind in terms of knowing how the economy was doing, until the Census Bureau was ordered to begin collecting data on just manufacturing. For nearly 100 years, it would update this snapshot on this one sector once a decade. At the turn of the 20th century, the government began collecting data on 2 more industries and took that snapshot every 5 years. It wasn't until the beginning of the 21st century that the government started finally getting data on services and finances and doing that, adding that to the semi-decennial snapshot that we were taking. Our policy on prices weren't any better. The Bureau of Labor Statistics didn't collect price data until 1917, and there did only food data once a year in 32 communities. By 1940, it was collecting data on 170 items. Monthly. And then today, it collects the same monthly data, but for 80,000 different items, 5,000 different food categories. Outside the government, we see that the steady flow of price data from online shoppers and scanners provides real-time information that enables even more precise and distinctive analysis of prices and inflation. The MIT Billion Prices Project is able to generate data on 5 million items from 70 countries every single day. And even more advanced analysis is being done by a new company called Premise, which collects pricing data for 50,000 food items per hour around the world. The tools and techniques for data analysis, which seemed to be advanced just a decade ago, are being leapfrogged. 2 major factors have set the conditions for the opportunities we in public policy have today. The first is the unprecedented boom in the availability of data from the internet, satellite, sensors, and other newly digitized sources. And they're being studied for the first time from a public policy lens. The second factor is the incredible advancement in computing power that allows for the collection and storage and manipulation of exactobytes and zettabytes of these data. The new data visualization software and apps are being developed that will eventually put these data sets at the fingertips of not only researchers, but policymakers and the public, empowering even those without a computer science background. While these data sets are available in their own right, the real opportunity for public policy advances lies with the ability to merge multiple different data sets, enable us to answer questions we never even dreamed of. These newly discovered intersections will allow policymakers to design better interventions to meet both emerging crises and facilitate more refined long-term planning. It will allow us to make advancements inconceivable up until today, the personalization of public policy. In the same way that DNA is allowing us to think about personalized medicine, harnessing these massive data can bring about the ability to formulate public policy at an incredibly granular individual level. Education programs can be tailored to fit each child's specific learning style and needs in a classroom. Picture for the moment the possibility of matching a complete set of characteristics of every worker and their employer, cross-linking that with detailed information about their social background and residencies from birth, thinking of merging in data on local and national markets that the firm operates in, and then integrating that with tax and other information. Combined data sets like these could lead to a richer understanding of what makes workers and companies prosper. That information that would help both policymakers in the United States and around the world. Our government is light years behind industry in adapting this data revolution. The scope for advances in the use of predictive analytics to improve operational effectiveness is nearly limitless. A recent report claimed that the use of big data could generate up to $140 billion in cost saving annually for the U.S. government. Nations that successfully navigate the privacy challenge and begin to think about policy at an individual level will have capabilities unrivaled by others. But the availability of data and advanced computing are not enough. If there's a challenge in the private sector posed by the shortage of people skilled in data analytics, the problem in the public sector is order of magnitudes worse. The key to individualized policy is finding and training the bridge builders between data scientists and policymakers. At the McCourt School, we're building a massive data institute, which will be the leading place for harnessing massive data for policy formulation, analysis, and evaluation, and in training the next generation of policymakers in the techniques and the tools they need to use this new data sources. So that brings me to the reason why I'm here today, and that is to ask for your partnership. We're looking for skilled researchers and teachers to build our new massive data institute. We need access to the new data sets that are being created, which are often too big to be moved, and we need access to the computing power to analyze them. Work with Georgetown to make personalized public policy a reality. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of the conference.